purpose of this exercise is to help your brain connect to the muscles that are involved during exhalation and that compress the ribcage and trunk. Muscles have moving jobs and breathing jobs. If we get the muscle doing its breathing job well, it'll have far more engagement during the movement job. Let's get started. So this is a follow-along drill for breathing. We're going to be breathing with different cues and looking for different sensations based on the muscle we're targeting. But let's first warm up. You're going to start by having one hand on the belly, one hand on the chest, and we're doing slow 3 breaths that are slow, full, but you're not thinking about too much yet. You're just really tuning in and noticing what you feel for 3 to 5 breaths. Let's go. Okay, now we're going to do 3 full breaths, and we're focusing on full expansion, full inhalation, full compression, full exhalation. But that's it. We're moving slow. We're not thinking about anything just yet. Let's go. As much air in as you can. Pushing out all the air. And in. Out. One more time. And you can do the hissing breath or through the nose. All the way in, then all the way out. You may already notice as you push that air more out, certain parts of your trunk have to start to engage to get that compression. So notice, do you pull more from the back, more from the front, more from the sides? By the way, have a softball handy because anything we're doing right now, all the things we're doing right now, we're going to point out potentially where you're tight, and this is a great opportunity to roll those out as we redistribute tension. All right, for our first real drill, we will begin building a contractile map for the transverse abdominis, which runs transversely around our entire midsection. We're going to work in 3 layers. Let's get started. Hands are going to go on your hip bones right here. And as you breathe out, you're just going to imagine the 2 hip bones here are pulling toward each other. Every exhale, let's do 3 breaths. Your hands are gently helping the motion, pushing these 2 bones toward each other. Excellent. That's for the lower portion. Now the middle portion. You're going to imagine that, again, they're drawing toward each other, and your belly button is kind of, everything is sucking into a black hole in the dead center of your core. Let's go. Lastly, we're coming up here to the ribs, where the top layers are, and again, you're imagining the ribs are turning in toward each other, compressing toward each other. Let's go. Excellent. If any of that felt tight, put a soft ball in the core, maybe put a lacrosse ball in the lower back. Moving on to the six-pack. The job of the six-pack in movement, we're familiar with, it's a sit-up. It does this. But in breathing, it does a straight contraction toward the midline, like to the middle of the fibers, without rounding you. So imagine that there's a strip of magnets at the top of your ribs here and a strip of magnets here. And all you need to think about is as you're exhaling, the attraction of those magnets toward each other is increasing as you exhale, so that it's literally just shortening on the exhale. So we're gonna do 3 breaths. Excellent. Moving on to the obliques, really the external obliques we're focusing on right now. The obliques do the same thing as the abs in this position when they're both working at the same time, in that they both can round you down and just contract and compress the ribs to the hips, but they also come up and attach to the shoulders. So to get this chain to engage, you're going to bring your shoulders forward and up a little bit, like this. Okay? And as you breathe out, you're going to imagine that this shoulder is being pulled to this left hip and the left shoulder is being pulled to the right hip, and that these are kind of just contracting down into the hips, and the hips are contracting up into the shoulders. It'll look like this. Your lats will get involved too, and that's totally fine. Lats are a rib cage compressor as well. One more. Excellent. If you're having trouble feeling one side versus the other, if I'm feeling my right side more than my left, you can practice leaning to the left, trying it, or you may actually need to lean the other way. Try it. Everything we've just done for each of those muscles, you can do it while leaning to the left, do it while leaning to the right. And I recommend rewatching this video and doing it while leaning to the right, doing it to the left. You can take these exercises and move throughout and put yourself in any kind of spinal position and practice the breathing to build the motor control of those muscles in that position.